In about April of 2023, I took a YouTube channel that had 0 subscribers and only some personal videos on it, and grew that over the next 2.25 years into a channel that had 55,000 subscribers, about 3.6 million total views, and an Instagram following of about 22,000. And those are still growing every single month after month, with combined views of generally around 500,000 to 600,000 views per month. And in today's video, I want to share with you the workflow that I use to create all of my YouTube videos. And you can get a copy of that workflow if you would like. There'll be a link in the description. But the workflow has been absolutely key to my ability to grow this channel at the pace that I have. So let's go have a look at the workflow. So I'm a huge believer in having workflows for all of your repetitive processes because it's the only way to make sure that you don't forget anything. So in this case here, you can see that we have a workflow template, shoot and publish a new YouTube video in 2025. So this is my latest version of it. So what you want to do when you have the template in your account, and it is available for you guys to get if you open a Flowster account, and there will be links down in the description for that, is you're going to create a new workflow. And so we're going to give it a name. Now, normally what I would do is I would just name it after whatever the video is. But in this case, we're just going to call it demo. I'm going to assign this workflow to me, and we're going to assume that this workflow needs to be completed by, what is it, the 2nd today. So let's just say I want to complete this workflow by the 7th in advance of the day that I want to publish the video on the 9th. So we're going to create a new workflow. So now you can see the workflow is broken down into a number of steps. We've got pre-production and research. We've got scripting. If it's an interview, we've got some stuff to do if I'm interviewing someone. We've got post-production. And then, of course, there's the whole putting it on YouTube. And then there's promoting it. And if I'm going to send an email to my list, and then I'm going to check the analytics and monitor it. So I'm going to walk you through these steps so that you can see what you've got going on here. So this fella here recorded a number of videos which I thought were quite good. So I decided to embed them in the workflow, talking about mistakes to avoid. So the main mistakes outlined in this video: not giving the algorithm what it wants, talking about small ideas, etc., etc., and then making sure that you are shaping your message accordingly. So when you've got that step done, you just put a tick in the tick box. Now, competitive research. So when I'm recording a new video where I think there's other similar videos on YouTube, I'm going to go and watch some of those videos to see what they cover. And then I might make any notes here about what I want to cover in my own video. Storytelling has been absolutely critical for me. My Fly with Trent story has been spread over quite a number of videos over 2 years. And that story is what really hooked people in. Because the first thing as I did was I posed a question. I said, was becoming an airline pilot in less than 2 years even possible? And so that was a real hook, because apparently a lot of other people were asking that question, but nobody had answered it. And so it helped me get very quickly connected with an unserved market, which is one of the reasons why the very first video on basically a brand new channel got over 10,000 views initially, and I think it's up over 40,000 or something like that now. So there's a lot to learn about storytelling. So you can see here we have instructions on how to help you become a better storyteller, followed by a number of videos from other people about storytelling, because I've never filmed a video about storytelling. So initially, you're going to be wanting to pay close attention to this stuff as you get better at storytelling. Maybe you're not going to repeat this step every time, but nonetheless, you're going to take it off when you're done. Now, for AI video outlines, I use AI tools. I was using ChatGPT, but I've recently tested Perplexity, and I like the output better. So I go to Perplexity, and I put in a prompt, something like what on the screen here, and then Perplexity takes all of about 3 seconds to give me a video outline, and I paste a URL to that query on Perplexity for later reference. And then I also use vidIQ, and I'll do the same thing on vidIQ to see how the outlines compare, and I'll paste those URLs there. And then I've got some items here that I need to make sure that I do certain things in the outline, and then I'll paste the actual outlines from those AI tools into these boxes there. And then when that's done, I've got my outlines in hand. Now we've got test topic ideas with a reel. So really here, what I do is I'll produce Instagram reels where I talk about just a brief bit on a topic that I think I might want to make a YouTube video on. And if I'm having a perfect week, I'll do one of those every single day. I rarely have a perfect week, so I don't always get that done. But then so over a week, you're going to get 5 or 6 reels talking about different ideas. And if you're struggling on what should I film next, whatever reel is the most popular, they got the most engagement, the most views, more than likely you should be creating a long form video about that. So you might even move this step up above this step here, whatever. You can do them out of order, or you can go into edit mode and you can, as a matter of fact, we'll just do that right now. I'll show you how you do that. So we're going to test topics here and there. Now we've just moved it back up. So now we're going to go back over here and we're going to update all the active workflows that are dependent upon that template that I just edited. So we're going to say that we've got that done. Then we're going to write a title. It's important for the title to score vidIQ as a title scoring system. If you don't want to subscribe to vidIQ, you can just use Perplexity and ask it to give you title ideas. You won't have a score, but you can look at them. And once you get good at writing copy, you'll have a pretty good idea of which one's going to work the best. So it's asking for something. So we're just going to put blah, 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 blah in there right now. And then other videos that inspired this video. This is in the competitive research area. If I want to specifically link to some other videos, I can do that. Then I need to create a folder on my drive that my editor has access to. And then I'll put the drive URL for them there. And so same thing, we're going to, with my editor, who you can use as well, by the way. His information is on brightideas.co/start down at the bottom. But anyway, I'll create a card and I'll put the URL to the Trello card there. And then I'll order a thumbnail from my thumbnail designer and I'll put the URL to the thumbnail there. And if there's going to be a sponsor for this video, I'll put their message here. And now we get to the script. So what I do is I have a template that I rely on for every video that I do. And you can see here, you got to have a hook. And then I show my little intro branding. And then if it's an aviation video, I read a little bio about myself. It's a real estate video, another little bio about myself. And so if it's about or being a creator, I got another little bio there to fix. And then in step 1, that's whatever the first teaching step is. And then in step 2, that's the next teaching step. Step 3 is the next teaching step. You might not have 5 steps to every video, but you can just make a copy of this script for each video that you do. And then you're going to go ahead and store that URL to the copy. So that's going to be a custom script for each video. And you can put that URL there. If I'm using a slide deck, which I rarely do, to illustrate my point, I'll upload the slide deck there. And then if I'm trying to get an interview with somebody, I've got steps for approaching them with cold email and some tough questions I might want to ask them. And then in post-production, so once the raw footage has been shot, I got to remember to upload it to Drive. And then the video editor takes over. So I tell him which channel it's going to go on. His name's Rohan. So I mention him. I assign this, so I can assign this step here, which I'm not going to do because I don't want him to get an alert. But I can basically pick him. I'm going to assign it to him, give it a due date. And then I can also mention him down here in the comments. And then he'll edit the video. And then he'll also make a 3-minute clip for me for LinkedIn, a 60-second clip from the video for Instagram, and another 3-minute clip it's probably going to be the same clip as this one, for Twitter. And then I tell him I only need this clip if this is an Invest with Trent video, and same thing here. So once the video editing is done, now my editor is also my channel manager. And so he's going to take those video transcripts, punch them into AI, and he's going to come back with texts for social posts on Twitter and on LinkedIn and so forth. And he'll put all that information there for me. So all that I have to do is copy and paste it onto the respective social profile. And then, of course, it needs to be uploaded to YouTube, which my editor will do. And then it needs a title up on YouTube, which he will do. He's going to copy the AI description that was written about the video into the description field on YouTube. If there was any related links, I'll go ahead and add those in to the YouTube subscription. This is where I store the related links. Then if it's an investing video, we've got to put a disclaimer in there. So we're going to make sure that goes into the description. Chapter timestamps, upload the thumbnail image, select the correct playlist, select the audience, make sure I got the right end screen. So I typically will use the same sort of end screen from each one. And so I think about which one of my videos would they most want to watch after this one. And if I want to customize the end screen, I'll do that. Make sure the monetization is turned on and then schedule it for release. And then after it's been released, so I can assign this to myself here and give it a due date to match the release date. So then I get a notification from Flowster telling me to go pin a comment. These are for my editor here. He'll use another AI tool to make a number of other short clips. And then this is my reminder to share them on various social channels. So you can see Fly with Trent, Six Figure Creator, and Invest with Trent, the things that I need to do. Here, if I want to add it to the website someplace, that's my reminder to do that. And then if I want to email my list, which I usually do, it's going to show me how to draft an email and then schedule the send of that email to match when the video is going to go public. And then I'll take this last step and I'll assign it to myself for maybe a week after the video has been published. And that will show me that'll be my reminder to check out the analytics. All right, so that's a detailed walkthrough of my YouTube workflow. It's an ongoing project. I'm always working on improving it. And as I mentioned, you can get a copy of it. All you need is a Flowster account. And so I offer creators a huge discount on Flowster. I offer you guys a 66% discount. And then you can actually get that workflow that I just showed you for free when you get yourself a Flowster account. There will be links again down in the description on how you can do that. Thanks very much for watching. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already done so, as well as giving this video a thumbs up. And if you have questions for me, please leave them down there in the comments, because I do read and answer all questions that are left. Thanks very much, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.